Hi, I'm Avril. Today's class we have a beginner's flow. So it's kind of going to be more of an intro to yoga in general, but it's also going to be a class that can double up as more of a gentle class for someone who doesn't want to dive in on any particular day into something a little harder. So when I first started yoga, there's all these things that I just kind of picked up as I went along, but I really wish I had started with the foundations first. So hopefully that's what we're going to do here today. So it's a video, so do whatever you can. You can pause it, you can rewind, you can do 10 minutes of it, you can do the whole thing. So just go easy on yourself, listen to your body if you need to stop. If you have any issues at all, if you're nursing any injuries or anything, I would definitely advise you to consult a doctor before you start. But we're going to have lots of fun and we're going to flow as well. So we're going to start off nice and slow, and then towards the end we're going to build up into a little flow and a little rhythm, so you'll have something that you can practice on your own. So I'll stop talking and we're going to get started. So we're going to start seated. So you can sit with your legs crossed just like this. You can sit with one leg in front of the other. Just make sure you're not collapsing in your back, you're drawing your belly in. I also have blocks with me today, so you can sit up on a block, because sometimes if you tilt your pelvis up by lifting it up, gravity helps bring down your knees. Also, you can use a cushion, which I have behind me. Other thing is, if you're feeling a little tension in your knees here from the gravity dragging them down, you can always also sit like this. So bringing the blocks underneath your knees. So wherever you are, last option I'm going to give you is just sitting back on your heels like this. Also, nice option. I'm going to go with a block, so I'm going to be super comfy starting off. So straight away, we're just going to relax our shoulders. So we're going to bring nice little shoulder circles into our body. So bring your shoulders up towards your ears on inhale. You can close your eyes and then exhale. Drop your shoulders down your back. Draw your shoulder blades together. So inhale up. Exhale, drop the shoulders down the back. So you just keep going. We're going to do 3 more. So you just follow your breath coming up on the inhale. And then exhaling, dropping the shoulders down the back. So you're relaxing the neck here, no tension in the jaw. So one of the biggest things that I didn't know before I started yoga was how many places in the body you can hold tension. So one of those being your jaw, so you can always check in on that by maybe moving your tongue around in your mouth a little bit, opening and closing your mouth. The shoulders are another big one, especially if you work at a desk all day. So really enjoy these movements. Lift the shoulders up and drop them down your back. Last one. So relax them down. You're not tensing to relax them down. You're just finding a softness. And you can bow your chin slightly towards your chest. Just leave your hands fall wherever they land on your knees. And we're just going to slowly start to connect to our breath. So we're going to smooth out our inhales and then smooth out our exhales. Breath is so important in yoga. Links our movements together. Find that union between breath and movement. It helps to keep us anchored in our practice because you can hear the breath. So Ujjayi breath, deep inhales through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Slight constriction in back of your throat so you can hear the breath. So one big thing that's going to separate our yoga class from some other type of exercise is just maybe setting an intention for your class. So something that you can take off your mat with you when you're done. Maybe it's just approaching this with a nice open mind and an open heart. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So what we're going to do next is we're just going to take some nice opening into the neck. So we're going to just drop that right ear towards your left shoulder. You can lift the chin up slightly. And then maybe you start to walk that left hand away from your body a little bit with your fingertips. See how that feels. Breathing into any tightness. And then just drop the head down, little semicircle. And we're going to bring the left ear towards our left shoulder. Maybe walk that right fingertips out towards the right. You can lift the neck, or lift the chin up a little bit more here. And then dropping the head in that semicircle again, just coming back to the right. Nice and slow. And dropping over to the left. One more round, just coming all the way down. So we're starting nice and slow, so we're just beginning to notice things in our body where we're getting tight. Maybe you're getting a little uncomfortable where you're sitting. That's totally normal for when you just start. So remember to do some internal work. So lift your belly in and up, and lift up from the pelvic floor. Come back through center. We're going to bat the eyelids open, and we're going to come into our tabletop position. So we're going to have the wrists underneath the shoulders. We're going to have the knees underneath the hips. So really important is that you spread your fingers nice and wide and you claw into your mat. It's going to help to protect those wrists so you're not dumping all the weight into the heels. And then notice if you're just pressing down, you're rooting to rise, so you're pressing up and out of your hands so you're not collapsing into your shoulders. Press into the tops of your feet, and then on an inhale, we're going to drop the belly, look up. And then exhale, draw the belly in towards the spine, drop the head and neck. Press the mat away nice and strong. So drop the belly, inhale for your cow. Find expansion. And then exhale, draw the belly in towards the spine. Maybe you have your eyes closed here. So inhaling, dropping the belly, looking up. Last round. And then exhaling to contract. Come back to that tabletop position, and then slowly we're going to tuck the toes under beneath us, and we're going to walk the hands back, so we're coming onto our knees. So this is a nice big stretch in the toes. Maybe you never stretch your toes if you're not used to yoga, or if you wear high heels a lot, maybe this can be a lot in your feet. So we're just going to take some wrist circles while we're here to get off the wrists. Just going one way, and then the other. And then slowly coming back down into that tabletop position. We're going to bring that right leg nice and long. Flex that right foot towards the mat, and then just start to rock forward and back. So like a little seesaw action. So you're bringing the shoulders over the wrists. So yoga is a lot on the wrist, so that's why we're going to take a couple of breaks as we go. And then we're going to bring that right leg behind the left. Bring the gaze over that left shoulder. Nice big twist here. Maybe you still sway a little here. So anywhere that you want to add on once you get into a position, be my guest. It's going to make the practice a little more personal. So come back, but we're going to keep that leg nice and long, and we're going to lift it. So flex the foot down towards the mat, press out of both hands evenly, and draw the belly up towards your back. Keep breathing, gaze is down, so neck is nice and long. And then maybe if it feels okay, you can lift that left hand. So supine balance here. Try not to collapse into that right shoulder and claw into the mat with your right hand. Flexing the foot, drawing the belly in. Lengthen on the inhale. Kick that left hand out a little faster, further. And then exhale, we're going to bring that right knee in towards the nose. Bring the knee and the elbow together. Inhale, kick it out, find expansion. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, drop it down. So inhale, take your cow pose, drop the belly. Exhale to your cat. Maybe you take a break off the wrists, and maybe you come straight to the other side, so you can bring that left leg back. Flex the foot towards the mat and find that action of going forward and back on the wrists. And then let's bring that left leg behind the right. Gaze over that right shoulder. Maybe you continue that little motion here. So we're really warming into the body before we start, because I want you to build awareness in your body. Find where you're tight, find where your patterns are. Maybe you're super flexible and you have to build strength. So let's bring that left leg back, kick it out, flex that left foot down towards the mat. So everything on that left leg is facing down. Can stay here, building strength, hugging the belly in, or if it feels okay, you can bring that right hand out like you're shaking somebody's hand. Gaze is still down. Keep breathing. Inhale to lengthen, and then exhale, knee to nose, contract, hold. Inhale, kick it out. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale out. Lengthen, last one. Exhale in. Inhale out, lengthen. And then drop that right hand down. Coming back to our tabletop position. Tuck the toes under. Swim the hands back. Tuck the toes. And just to take our mind off our toes here, we're going to inhale, reach up. Take up space. And then exhale, we're going to cactus the arms. So bend the arms at the elbows, open the chest through the shoulders. You can bring your gaze up. Inhale, back up. And then still coming off of our feet, we're going to come to our first downward facing dog. So no worries here. We're going to bring our hands a little more than underneath our shoulders. So walk them a little forward. Claw into your mat just like we did earlier, and then tuck the toes under and slowly start to lift those hips all the way up. So relax into the head and neck, and you can start to find movement straight away. So you can start to pedal the feet. So bend one knee and then press the opposite foot into the mat, and then the other. So we're really getting into the calves here. Another thing is, so if you have really tight shoulders, you can actually, instead of having your hands facing forward, which is normally what we call, you can actually bring them so they're slightly facing towards the corners of your mat. That brings a little more of an opening in your shoulders. Then the other thing is to make sure you try and bring your elbow creases towards the front of the room. That provides external rotation in the upper arm bone, so you have space between your shoulders and your ears. Big, nice tip here is to bend your knees so you lengthen the back. Much more important than getting your heels down to the mat, which will come in time. So pedal it out, draw the belly in, relax the head and neck, and then find stillness. So remember your breath. You can bring your feet hip distance, or you can have them slightly closer together. I just prefer mine closer together. It's yogi's choice. And then gaze forward past your hands, and we're going to slowly walk to the front of our mats, coming to forward fold. So bring your feet hip distance apart, which is under your hip points, so your hip bones. And then you can bend your knees deeply and grab opposite elbows here. So honestly, don't worry about what this looks like. It's more about what it feels like. We're gently getting into the posterior chain, so into our hamstrings. We're decompressing that low back. Keep breathing, swaying a little side to side. And then if you have your bind, release it. Hands come to the mat. We're going to tuck the chin, bend the knees even more, press into your feet to rise up, and slowly, inch by inch, make your way to stand. Once you get there, let's take those shoulder circles. So lift the shoulders up and drop them down your back. So palms face open by our sides. So this is Tadasana. So we're going to have our feet hip distance apart. You're going to draw the belly in and drop the shoulders, looping them down, bringing the shoulder blades together down your back. So find softness here. So you're not tensing to keep those shoulders back. So it's almost like you're rooting down through your feet. So you're lifting up through your front body and then grounding down through your back body. Tailbone's also slightly tucked, so you're not sticking your butt out. So you're tucking your tailbone slightly. So here we are. There's a lot going on even in Tadasana, but I do want you to try and find a little bit of stillness. And first of all, before you do that, find all four corners of your feet. So super important to distribute your weight. Okay, so from here, we're just going to bend our knees slightly and reach all the way up to our extended mountain. So once you get there, pinkies are in, triceps are forward, and then you can even bring your hands out a little bit more than you think, so you have some space between your shoulders and ears. Consciously drop the elbows or the arms so that your shoulders are spaced from your ears. Bring the gaze up and then bend into your knees. You're going to bring your hands through prayer and forward fold all the way down to your mat. So drop your head, let your hands fall wherever they land. So if they don't reach the mat, that's okay. Bend your knees a little deeper if that's the case. So we're going to inhale to halfway lift. So inhale, slide the hands all the way up to the hip creases for your first one. We're going to draw the shoulders back, loop them back, elbows come back, chest comes forward, gaze is down. Draw the belly in strong. Exhale, bow. So bend back into your knees, relax it all the way down. Bend a little more into your knees, tuck the chin, roll all the way up. This time come all the way through extended mountain. So should feel good. Reach those arms up, gaze up to the sky, and then exhale, hands come down through prayer. We're going to keep it going, fold all the way into your forward fold. Bending your knees at the start. Inhale, hands slide all the way up the legs, coming to the creases of the hips, and draw the chest forward. Gaze down. Exhale, fold. Press into your feet to rise up. So rooting to rise, reach all the way up. Extended mountain, take up space. And then this time, just like we did earlier, we're going to cactus the arms. So open the chest. I'm a big believer in opening into the shoulders when you're starting your yoga practice. So inhale, back up, reach up. Exhale, hands come all the way down through prayer. Hinge forward at the hips and drop the head, bend the knees. This time, halfway lift, find your version. You can bring your hands to your shins if that feels better, if you're a little more flexible. And then exhale, bow. So we're going to step back to high plank. So frame your feet, step your right foot back first, and then your left, and voila, we're in high plank. So just like we were doing earlier, you're clawing into your mat, you're pressing up and out of the mat, you're spiking your heels back, drawing the belly in towards the spine. So the shoulders are over the wrists. You can always bring your knees down because you're building strength here. Just remember that. You take it slow. So from here, we're going to slowly bring the chest down to the mat. So hug the elbows into the side body, super important. And slowly make your way down. If you belly flop, that's okay. It happens. So once you get down, you're going to keep your hands where they are. You're going to loop the shoulders, draw the belly in, and slowly come into a baby cobra. So opening the chest, pressing the feet into the mat. You don't have to come very high here. Exhale, forehead comes to the mat. We're going to do that again. So loop the shoulders, draw the belly in, slowly make your way up. Exhale, lower. And then from here, we're going to press into our hands, stay on our knees, and come through our tabletop position. Once you get there, keep those hips going back, tuck the toes under, press into your hands, lift the hips up high. We're back in our downward facing dog. So same thing, paddle it out if you need to. Find some movement. Take some breaks if you need. Are you breathing? Do you have that ujjayi breath going on? So deep inhales through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Bring your gaze forward, walk to the front of your mats. Find your forward fold. So grab opposite elbows, bend the knees, rock side to side. Release your binds, hands come to the mat, bend the knees, tuck the chin, roll up. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, hands come all the way down through prayer. Let it go back into your forward fold. So drop the head, bend the knees, halfway lift, hands come all the way up the thighs. Loop the shoulders. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, reach all the way up, extended mountain. Take up space. And then exhale, hands come down through prayer, soften and bow. You got it. This time, inhale, halfway lift. We're going to do another Sun A. Exhale, bow. Hands frame the feet. This time, let's step the left foot back. So we're going to try and mix it up. So step the left foot back, frame the feet, and then step the right foot back. So you're in high plank. You can stay here, or you can bring the knees down. It's still a challenge. Maybe lift your feet up. So we're in this half push up here. So we're really building strength. We're clawing into the mat. Remember, you're not dumping, you're pressing that mat away. So from here, you can slowly start to bend the elbows, hug them into the side body, and come all the way onto your belly. Inhale to your baby cobra. Exhale, lower. So baby cobra is going to strengthen the low back. Inhale, come on up. And it's also going to just be a nice little small back bend. So tuck the toes under, start to press up, and come through your tabletop before you keep those toes tucked, and lift the hips up, downward dog. So we're going to do it a little bit faster since we know where we're going. So look forward to your hands and then walk your feet forward, forward fold, feet hip distance. Grab opposite elbows, slowly start to sway a little side to side. Release your bind, hands come to the mat, tuck the chin, bend the knees. Let's press into our feet, draw the belly in, nice and strong, reach up, extended mountain. Exhale, hands come down through prayer, sink all the way into your forward fold. Drop the head. Halfway lift together. Exhale, hands come to the mat. This time right foot steps back, followed by the left. Hands are hip distance apart, so shoulder distance apart. Maybe try and stay up this time for a moment. You can always bring the knees down, hug the elbows in, lower all the way onto your belly. Inhale to your cobra. Exhale, lower. And then press up, coming into our tabletop before we tuck the toes under and come into our downward facing dog. Only here for a breath. Remembering to hollow out the belly, and then let's drop the knees down to our mat and slowly just come to kneel, bringing the hands behind us. Just take a moment, bring your hands to prayer. Bow the chin towards the chest. Maybe you're starting to heat up a little bit. You can close your eyes here. Think about your intention that you set. So we're going to get off the wrist. So we did some awesome sunnies, and we're just going to come back to that downward dog, last one in class. Lift the hips high. It's a really big transition pose in yoga. Look forward, and then maybe this time you try and step forward. So maybe you step that left foot forward, followed by the right. If you only get halfway, you can just grab your leg and hike it the rest of the way. That's all right. So forward fold at the front of our mats. You can leave the hands hang this time. Maybe they land on your mat with your knees nice and bent. Bend into your knees, draw the belly in, roll all the way up, extended mat, and reach up, inhale. And this time, let the hands come down through prayer. We're just going to come into our Tadasana for a moment. So hands by our sides, palms face open. Remember, it's still kind of a power pose. It's called mountain pose, so there you go. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do chair pose, so Utkatasana. So you can bring the feet together or hip distance apart. So remember, hip distance is under your hip points, but they're both going to face the same way. So don't let them splay one way or another. I'm going to do it with my feet together. It's my preference. And you're also going to have a little space between your heels if your feet are together. So draw the belly in, tuck the tailbone slightly, just like Tadasana, mountain pose. And then start to sink down. So you can reach your hands forward. Same thing as mountain, so pinkies in, triceps forward. Your hands don't need to be up here. If you're more flexible in your shoulders and you can do that, that's great. You don't have to be. You can also bring your hands to prayer. This feels really tight in your shoulders. So gaze down, make sure you can at least see the tips of your toes, and sink your tailbone down a little bit more. So draw the belly in. Keep breathing. This isn't easy. And then press into your feet some more to reach all the way up. This always feels really good. Extended mountain, reach up. And then exhale, hands down through prayer. So we're going to set up for a standing sequence. This one's going to be fun. We're going to do it twice, but we're going to do it a little different the second time. So getting into our balance, we're going to ground down through our left foot, find all four corners, and spread your toes. Spreading your toes feels a bit weird when you first start, but it really helps with your balance. So then we're going to bring that right knee up towards your chest. So if your hip flexors are tight, this can be hard just as it is. So if you're working on balance, maybe you're just here today, maybe you're barely lifting it up. Maybe you're here, just be wherever you are. If you want to hug it in with your knee, you can. Just getting an extra little flexor action here. Relax your shoulders and then release. So try and keep it up a little higher. Drawing the belly in, not dumping into that left hip, so keeping nice and straight in the hips. And then we're just going to drop that right leg down. Shake it out a little bit. So we're just starting off. We're not doing anything too crazy today. So then from here, we're just going to step that right foot back, coming into a lunge. Okay? So a lot of people do knee down on the ground for the beginners kind of stuff, but I feel like your knees on the ground can be a lot of pressure. So we're going to stay up, but if you want to bring your knee down, you can. So feet can be hip distance apart for more balance, front knees bent over the front ankle, and then make sure that knee isn't coming in like that because that's really bad for your knee. Make sure it's pressing towards the second and third toe so it's stacked. So it's not like this, it's going to be stacked. So draw the belly in. You can bend your back knee slightly if you're arching. So I arch a lot in my back when I'm doing this. That's not what you want. You want to bend your back knee slightly if that's the case to kind of neutralize your pelvis. So reach up. There's a lot going on. Same way we've been doing earlier, so the shoulders are away from the ears. You might already feel a shake, and that's okay. So draw the belly in, reach up a little higher, and then cactus the arms, just like we've been doing. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus the arms, building strength in the legs. Inhale, reach up. And then this time, fun move, we're going to open up to warrior two. So spin your back leg to 90 degrees, and then that front foot stays where it is. So front heel is in line with that back arch, and you're still bending into the front knee over front ankle. Same thing. Press it back if you need to. Make sure it's tracking towards the second and third toe. Reach out to either side, draw the shoulder blades together. So our hips are this way, arms are straight and back towards either end of the room. Gaze is over the front middle fingers. We're going to flip our warrior, reverse our warrior. So right hand, flip the palms first, and that right hand comes down that right leg. The left hand comes up and over, big side body stretch. So maybe you just keep your gaze down where it is. Maybe you look up if it feels okay in your neck. Pressing into the outside edge of that back foot is super important in all standing balances. Exhale, extended side angle. So left elbow comes to that left knee. Press into the outside edge of the back foot and reach that right hand high. So funnily enough, doing these slower is actually more challenging. So you draw the chest open towards the sky. So we're feeling an opening here. Maybe you drop that right hand back a little bit more. And then inhale, let's come back up, warrior two. Nice work, this is hard. So then, nice fun little move. We're going to drop that right hand down. Start to bring the chest forward. Pivot on the back foot. We're in our crescent lunge. Reach up. Get nice and light in your back right foot. And we're just going to step it forward to meet the left. Sink into your chair pose. Won't be here for long. You can bring the hands together. If they're together, press the palms together. Gaze down, see your feet or see your toes. Press into your feet to rise up. And then exhale, just leave your hands come by your sides. Tadasana for a moment. Okay, other side. So we're going to ground down through our right foot. Spread the toes, find all four corners, and then lift that left leg up. Remember, where you are today is where you are today. Just honor that. Maybe lift that left leg up a little higher. You can start to take some ankle circles. So like we said, add on where you need to. So we're really drawing the belly in here. We're trying to keep the hips even so we're not doing this. And then just drop it down. So you'll know why we're doing this the next time we go through this. Step the left foot all the way back to the back of your mat. Crescent lunge, front knee over front ankle. Remember your alignment. And then inhale, reach up. The wider your stance, the more solid you are in your base. Drop the shoulders. Inhale, reach a little higher. And then exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Last one. Inhale, reach up. This time, exhale, find your warrior two. Spin your back foot open to 90 degrees. Front heel in line with the back arch and reach to either side of the room. So since we did this on the other side, we're going to do it a little faster. So you're going to flip the palms, reverse your warrior. Right hand comes up and over, left hand comes down your leg, your left leg. Press into the outside edge of that back foot so it's still active. And breathe. Exhale, right elbow comes to that right knee. Draw the chest open towards the sky. Lift that left hand up. So try not to dump into that right elbow. So press up and out of that right elbow. Keep breathing. Drawing the chest back. Inhale, back up, warrior two. Maybe the arms are shaking, that's okay. So like we did before, drop that left hand down this time. Pivot on the back foot. Reach the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, lighten the back foot. Soften the knees and step that left foot forward to meet the right hands. Come to prayer. Really quickly, we're going to sink into our chair pose just for a breath. And then reach up. Inhale. Exhale. Sweep the arms down, coming by our sides. Tadasana. So we're adding on. So this is why we've done the balancing. So you're going to bring that right knee in towards your chest. Maybe it's here. Honor where you are. You can drop it down first like we did the last time. Or you can use your core, draw the belly in, and step it back. Take your time. If you land somewhat weird, you can always adjust when you get there. So then we inhale, reach up, draw that left hip crease a little back so that the hips are square. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Sink into your hips, so try and relax into your hips a little bit. Still strengthening. So strength and flexibility. Flip the palms, reverse your warrior. Left hand up and over. Exhale, left elbow, left knee, extended side angle. Reach that right hand high. Inhale, come back to your warrior two. Exhale, drop that right hand down, pivot on the back foot, crescent lunge, arms reach up, front knee over front ankle, and then this time maybe you just step forward or you get nice and light in that back foot, bring the right knee in towards your chest. Drop it down, shake it out. We're going to skip the chair pose this time. Okay, so other side, ground down through your right foot, left knee comes up into your chest, or your version. So maybe you just drop it down, step it back, or you firm up through your core and start to kick that left leg back. With control, bend into your right knee, drop that left foot back. Once you get there, get your balance, set it up correctly, and then reach up. Inhale. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. You got it. All right, flip the palms, reverse your warrior. Left hand up and over. Big side body stretch here. Remembering to breathe. Don't hold your breath in poses. Exhale, extended side angle. Right elbow, right knee. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, drop that left hand, pivot on the back foot. Bring the feet forward, reach up, inhale, crescent lunge. So same thing, maybe you just step forward or maybe firm up the core, bring the left knee in towards your chest. Hands come to prayer. Drop it down, shake it out, whatever you need to do. Okay, and then we are going to soft knees, reach all the way up, extended mountain. And then exhale, last chair pose. So sit into your chair. However you're doing it with your legs together, hip distance. Sink as low as you can. And we're going to bring our hands to the mat. So we're going to use our hands to come all the way onto our sits bones. And then we're going to lift our legs up. So we're in Navasana. So you can grab behind your thighs here. Draw the belly in, loop the shoulders. So core strength is so important in yoga. It's the foundation of everything. So we are going to do a little bit. So keep breathing, drawing the belly in. We're not going to be here for long. Maybe you're bringing your palms open by your sides. I like to bring the gaze up because for some reason it activates my lower belly. I'm sure there's a good reason for it, but Just does. All right, we've already been here too long, so we're just going to bring the legs back down to the mat, walk the hands back, come all the way onto our backs. So take a full body stretch when you get there. Bring the legs nice and long, reach the fingertips over your head. Should feel good. And then we're going to bring one sole of the foot to the mat first, and then the other. And we're going to bring the knees into the chest, give ourselves a hug, rock side to side. So we're almost there. We're starting to slow down our breath. Starting to really, really let go of any effort in the body. Final few poses. So let's bring the soles of the feet back down to the mat. So we're going to bring the ankles underneath the knees basically. Feet are going to be hip distance apart. We're coming to bridge pose. So tuck your shoulder blades a little bit underneath your chest. You can have your hands facing down on the mat or palms face open. Press into your feet to lift your tailbone. Tuck your tailbone. Lift your mid back, your low back. And press into your toe mounds, your big toe mounds. Squeeze your glutes. Lift a little higher if you can. So the chest comes towards the chin, chin comes towards the sky. Slowly exhale inch by inch all the way back down to your mat. Letting the back come flush with your mat, and then we're just going to windshield wiper the legs. So keep the knees bent and just drop the legs over to one side and then the other. Nice release for the low back. And then we're going to take supine pigeon to get into our hips a little bit. So keep the sole of the left foot down. We're going to bring that right ankle over the left knee. Flex that left foot, and maybe that's enough for you. So maybe you're pressing that right hip open there, and that's where you want to be today. It's absolutely fine. Otherwise, you can thread the needle, so you can bring your hands behind your left thigh and maybe find a little sway side to side just to feel into your hip. One big thing that I find is if your neck and shoulders, if this is too much and you're really straining, you can bring a block or a pillow behind your head to raise the ground a little bit. So that way you're not straining into your head and neck, but you're still getting a nice deep opening into that right hip. Okay, release. Left foot comes down to the mat. And we're going to take it on the other side. So right sole of the foot comes down, left ankle comes over your left or your right knee. Press it open. Maybe both sides are different. This side is a lot harder in my body. Stay here, or you can start to thread the needle. So not too much effort in your arms here. We're using this as more of a restorative pose. So if you want to bring that block underneath your head, you can. Relaxing. Okay, release. Both knees are going to come down to, both feet are going to come down to the mat, and we're just going to walk the feet out so that the toes and soles of the feet come to the outside edges of the mat. Leave your knees come in to meet each other in the center. You can bring your hands to your belly. Just kind of a counter pose here in your body. Okay, knees come back in towards the center. Give yourself another hug. And then we're going to shift the hips over to the left. We're taking a supine twist. We're going to bring both knees and just drop them over to the right. So this can be a wonderful pose to just relax completely at the end of class. If you have some low back issues, just go into it very gently. Maybe you even bring a block underneath your knees if there's too much space between your knees and the ground. So concentrate on grounding that left shoulder rather than dropping the knees to the earth. So the idea is to create as much space as you can from your left shoulder to your right hip, or to your left hip. So draw the belly in to come back through center. We weren't going to be there for long. And then hips come to the right. and drop the knees over to the left. So gaze can be up or it can be over that left shoulder. Just bring awareness to where you feel this in your body. It's one of the biggest gifts that yoga can give you, is just noticing all the subtleties and where things are felt. You can direct your breath there. Actively try and soften. Draw the belly in. Let's come back through center slowly. Just lay here for a moment with your feet on the mat. Maybe bringing your shoulder blades underneath your heart space a little. Create some room in your chest. You can stay here for a few more moments, or you can take Supta Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet come together. You allow your knees to just come wide. That's another pose where, if you like, you can bring your blocks underneath you just to give you a little bit more support. So they can come underneath the knees or underneath the thighs. Hands can be at the belly, or maybe you bring them to that cactus. So they're inviting a little bit of an opening into your shoulders. So then it's yogi's choice. You can come to a traditional Shavasana by straightening one leg and then the other. If this is a lot for your low back, you can still keep those soles of the feet just rooted onto the ground, just giving you a little more support, or you can still take that Supta Baddha Konasana. So wherever you are, just relax any control you still have over your breath and get this block out of the way. You can rock your head a little side to side, releasing the tension in your neck that may have built up, especially if you're just not used to this and you've been looking up and down at the video. So allow everything to grow heavy. And just realize that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Allow yourself these last moments of deep rest. Super important to let the movement and the breath just sink into your body, so you can absorb all of the benefits of your practice. So I invite you to stay here as long as you like, just releasing and relishing this deep rest. Or you can slowly start to wake up. So you can wiggle your fingers and toes. Come back to your breath. So lengthen the inhales and exhales again. Maybe you come to that full body stretch. And then let's meet on one side. So maybe you keep those eyes closed and just come into a fetal position on the right or left, whichever feels better. Using your arms to press you up just where we started. We're coming back to Sukhasana, so easy seat. So maybe notice a little if there's any difference in your body here from where you started. So remember to drop your shoulders down your back. Fix your necklace if you're wearing one. And let's bow our chins to our chest. Just finding a sense of gratitude for ourselves for showing up on our mats. If you did set an intention, maybe you revisit it now. And you take it off your mat with you. So let's bat the eyelids open, hands come to prayer, Anjali Mudra at the heart. We're going to take a nice deep cleansing breath to end class. So we're going to inhale through our nose and then exhale through our mouth together. So inhale. Hands come to prayer, or hands come to the third eye. space in between your eyebrows, we bow and say Namaste. Thank you so much, guys, for doing class with me today. I really hope you enjoyed it. I will have more beginners classes to try and get you more into your yoga journey. I'll try and make them so they're a little more fun than some of the really intro ones that you do. So you'll get into little bits of flows and stuff. So let me know what you thought. You can leave some comments and just some feedback. And maybe if you really liked it, you can subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste.